To me, what makes this special is the guy, you know, what he's done. And basically, this is a postage stamp for the tens of thousands of vets that have served. Most of Duke's life, he's been in a situation that he's been the guy taking care of everyone. He's been the overseer of safety. You know, as a Marine sniper, your job is to keep every other Marine safe. Sitting in a bell tower for days, watching a town for an enemy sniper that could injure or dismantle one of our teams. Duke has always been that guy saving everybody else's ass. And now that he's retired, he's taken that kind of same role in rehabilitating vets. It's fun for me to spend a day with Duke, get him out of being the guy looking after everybody else, and let him get on the boat, enjoy himself, and let me look after him for a change.
So you and I met through Project Healing Waters. I surprised you with a trip, flew up to Tennessee, met you, you came down here. You then, shortly thereafter, went to actually work for Project Healing Waters, right?
Right.
And worked there for several years, but then you went a step further and are with a new organization, Healing Towers.
So, Project Healing Waters was a huge part of my recovery, and then while I was associated with Project Healing Waters, I was a recipient of the Healing Towers trip.
Okay.
And after my trip fishing with you, I really realized I wanted to be a captain. And when I became when I was able to do that and put it all together, now I can mentor somebody at a more personal level, you know. So what I'm doing now is providing more camaraderie and mentorship to these veterans post-injury, and so we're creating a level of recovery that's going to follow them for the rest of their life. So we have a group of mentors, and these mentors make a lifelong agreement to follow these guys that they bring up for the rest of their lives. Later on, I would find myself suffering from an illness, and I wound up having to be medically retired. During this process, there was a therapeutic organization called Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing that I was introduced to. Growing up fishing, I said, well, this is something I could get behind. You know, I love being in the outdoors and I love fishing, so I wind up getting involved in this and becoming a fly fisherman, which is an amazing sport to help clear your mind.
Trip, keep tripping. You see that bite? That was really subtle.
Yeah, about the time you said strip is when I felt him.
Uh-huh.
That's a pretty nice one there.
You're the best metal-handed snook fisherman I've fished in a long time.
I know. Probably don't get many of those, do you?
No. What happened to your hand again?
It got crushed in an MRAP door. Door weighed 800 pounds. Cut it right in half.
I mean, you can't imagine the experiences this guy has put himself through, fighting for our country. And to see him be able to kind of shove those off in the corner now and appreciate all the things positive in his life has been a real eye-opener for me.
While I was involved in Project Healing Waters, I would meet a fellow by the name of Gary Morfitt. And Gary had an organization in Alaska called Healing Towers. He invited me and my wife to come because he seen that my wife was an important part of my recovery. We wound up going to Alaska, having a great time, and I was able to clear a lot of thoughts that plagued me during the late waking hours and the early mornings. So instead of drinking or doing drugs, I would think about these things that I'd done. I would go down and tie flies, or I would look at a picture of Alaska, or those things kind of helped me get through some pretty rough times. And then now I'm pretty heavily involved in the Healing Towers things. So we bring veterans up to Alaska fishing because it's easy for me to relate to them, because I've been in their same situation where I dealt with daily struggles, and I needed something that I could think about to keep me good.
When I first flew to Tennessee years ago and met Duke, his wife pulled me aside and told me that this could not have come at a better time. And I really didn't know what she meant by that, but later I figured out that Duke had recently retired and was having a hard time. And he had just began to get some therapy, to get back into everyday life and live in the public sector. And surprising him with that trip kind of set the stage for his recovery, and I didn't realize that.
Keep stripping. Stay tight on that one.
That's a good one.
Good job, buddy.
He always takes the time to, just out of his day, just to call and say, "Hey bud, how you doing?" So now I have this other brother that's in my recovery session, and we've become at a level so that we can talk to each other with hard questions and easy questions, or just to call and see how each other's doing. So my recovery is now really becoming complete, and I know that when I have those rough times that I'll be able to call any one of these organizations or Rob and say, "Hey, I'm having a bad day," and the day will be okay.
Oh yeah, he's pretty.
Good job.
All right.
Well done, sir.
It's really funny. You can ask a guy what the trip's like in Alaska. You can say, "I want you to prioritize a few things. I want you to prioritize the fishing, the travel, the sightseeing, and camaraderie." And everybody puts camaraderie as number one, because they get a chance to be back with the guys that understand them.
Yes.
And now you've got more than just one guy, but you've got a group of guys that understand each other, and they can keep each other kind of in check, just like they did in a team,
Right.
or just like they did in a squad or a platoon. So they help keep each other in line with getting, to where they're going to be. It's about the peace of mind that you get. It's about the clarity. You have nothing else to focus on at that time. There's no bad thoughts coming in. There's no external good thoughts coming in. It's just you and your zone, and your mind is crystal clear on one mission to deliver that perfect cast to the fish, and then make everything work and come together. So it's really a sharp focus that you have to have, and it just takes all these thoughts away from your head, and you can relax.
Oh! Stay tight. Stay tight. Just strip down. Stay real tight to him.
I believe this is the best one of the day.
It is so far. You know what I haven't figured out? I love to snook fish. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I haven't figured out whether it's the fish or the environment or the combination of the two, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we left the dock, haven't seen another boat, haven't heard another boat.
Yeah, this don't suck.
Go ahead and put some heat on it.
Wow, they can run up on you pretty quick, can't they?
Mm-hmm. Good job. Look at you,
Look at that. 12th grade.
almost. I think you failed a grade.
Oh, I got kicked back.
Yeah, he's a kickback. See, he's even chunkier than some
I
of those
know,
other
yeah,
ones.
it's awesome.
Words can't explain the beauty of Alaska. I mean, you
Oh, yeah.
were there.
Absolutely.
Words can't explain it. We have a great place. It's just like here in the Everglades where, you know, there's no cell phone service, there's no internet. So they have to unplug from all that. And it kind of just gives them a good solid recharge to go forward. So, you know, and at the end of the day, we just want to bring some peace to them, right? And that's kind of what we say is bringing peace to those who serve, because these guys live in a lot of turmoil, you know, and the bad dreams, and you know, you can hear these guys on the boat screaming from their nightmares, and by the end of the trip, these guys are saying, man, I hadn't slept this good in years. You know, they find a peace.
It's a little better one there,
Yeah,
I think.
he blew up on it, didn't he?
He did. That was a cool bite.
Yeah, it was. Like he inhaled it. Look at that.
You could hear that bite.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's a little better fish, huh?
Oof. And I don't even see your fly.
Oh, he inhaled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty nice one.
Good, not a bad little fish. Coolest thing about that was the bite.
What I'm finding out is my best form of therapy is to help others. You know, and nature seems to be the #1 cure for everything. And you can get guys out there, and nature's a hell of a lot cheaper than therapy, I can tell you that. But it's you just get them out there and they find themselves and they find something they can do where they just forget everything else. And then they have these moments where they, I don't know, I guess kind of like I'm having, you know, I caught that snook, I'm happy and I'm released, and just like I can take something else out of my pack.
Right.
And being able to take something else out of those guys' pack is just really huge, man.
Keep stripping. Keep stripping. Keep stripping. Keep stripping. Keep stripping. Strip it. Hit him. That was cool. He took a little coaxing. He wasn't super aggressive, you know.
Often, especially professional fishermen, but fishermen in general, always regulate what kind of day they had by what they caught. That was not the situation with Duke today. He got to see country he's never seen before. He got to experience types of fishing that he's never done before. He got to catch his first snook. He got to catch multiple snook. Every turn we took in the boat, every channel, every creek was something new for him. I take it for granted sometimes. Did I want him to catch a giant snook? Picture of a lifetime for him that he put up on his wall? Absolutely. But fishing's fishing. Because Duke did not catch this giant fish, didn't mean he didn't have a great day.
you'll find this fish will be more gold in this clear water than those other fish we caught.
Yeah, they were more silverish.
Yeah, because of the watercolor. We're a little closer to the fresh water and you'll find these will be a little more gold. Their fins are gold.
Come here, buddy. Yeah, he's got a little more fight in him than those others did.
That's the cool thing about snook. I mean, for every half a pound, there's like 20% more fight, you know? Good job, buddy.
He did take a lot of coaxing to get it.
Yeah, he was real subtle. He wasn't real aggressive.
It's more than just the fishing and it's more than just the outdoors. If a guy wants to be a lawyer, well, let's figure out how to make him a lawyer. So we're trying to really bridge the gap, especially with the guys with, you know, the PTSD and the hidden injuries. We really want to bridge that gap and get them back involved in their community. You know, something that they fought for, and we want to allow them to be able to mentally get back to where they can take ownership of it again.
Right.
Like so.
Basically, the transition from being military
Absolutely.
life to civilian
Absolutely.
life.
Yeah, and it's post-injury, right? So that's the, you know, once you're injured, you have to figure it out. There's a lot of things you got to refigure. You know, like what is your new 100%?
Right.
And that's what we try to do. Is we try to help these guys understand what their new 100% is.
If you haven't already, go to my website, theseahuntertv.com. You can watch past episodes, shop apparel, book a fishing charter with the Seahunter Fishing Group, and watch some behind the scenes.
Are these all snook?
Oh, they're all tarpon.
They're all tarpon?
I think for me, it was a really fun time with Duke because for the last couple of years, he's basically spent all of his time giving. And this is a chance that he's kind of center stage. And it's my opportunity to show him things he hasn't seen. It's my chance to recharge his batteries.
Keep fishing all along there. There's fish all along that shoreline right there. Like that one right there.
The mystique of catching a tarpon is out there for every fisherman. Every saltwater angler always wants to catch a tarpon. But if you can catch one on the fly, it's a whole nother deal because they're generally a spooky fish. So when you get the opportunity to catch one, it's an amazing thing.
Look at that, brother.
Oh
You
man,
didn't expect to do that today, did you?
no, it made my day. This is just, look at that. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I know as one person, I can't change the world, but as one person, I can change another person who can change another person who can change another person. And then we can change the mindset of the way these guys with PTSD are dealing. You know, we're not, I don't want to say change the mindset, I guess, but we can change the way they think.
Rechannel.
Right, we can train them to become more positive.
Right.
You know, and get rid of some of the negativity that they're carrying around because they're hurt, you know, and with the PTSD, I struggled with it for a long time, and I still have my days. You know, not every day's an easy day, but if you can have more goods than bads, you seem to be more successful, and that's what we're really trying to do by just giving them a little bit of peace.
These organizations are all about letting them find themselves again.
Absolutely.
and set a new goal. That life isn't over just because the military's gone now. And I find that 90% of the people in the public sector don't realize that that's an issue. You know, thank you for serving, and they think that's the end of it. And that's really the beginning of it.
I think more people in this country aren't involved because they've just never been involved. It's not that they don't want to. They've never experienced what it's like to be around a vet. These people are special. It takes a special kind of mindset to want to put your life aside and fight for a country. I mean, to me, that's a real badass. I've known Duke for a few years, and we've gotten to be really great friends, and we've shared a lot of time together. His family is like mine. But it was actually really striking to me. You know, I get up, go to the kitchen to get another taco, look back at the dinner table, and everybody's just mesmerized listening to Duke talk, listening to the stories, listening to the adventures that he's been on. I'm really glad that the crew got to meet and get a little piece of the real man.